Good morning, everyone. So it's really a pleasure to welcome you all here today on this beautiful setting on the levee. What a great backdrop for today's celebration. Whether you're joining us here in person or on YouTube Live, thank you so much for being a part of this milestone event. We're here today to celebrate the completion of Reaches 1 through 3 levees of the South San Francisco Bay Shoreline Project Phase 1. This project represents years of vision, collaboration, and dedication to protecting our communities and restoring our shorelines. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has constructed 2 miles of coastal flood protection levees in partnership with Valley Water, the State Coastal Conservancy, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Before we begin our program today, I'd like to acknowledge several elected officials that were unable to make it but have been really instrumental in helping us to get to this point. We are particularly grateful for Senator Alex Padilla and also for Congressman Ro Khanna's support. I also want to recognize Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren and Congressman Jimmy Panetta, whose advocacy, along with the dedication of their staff, has been instrumental in bringing this project to fruition. I also want to acknowledge some local elected officials joining us today. California Assembly Member Patrick Ahrens, Santa Clara County Board President Otto Lee, City of Santa Clara Mayor Lisa Gilmore, and City of San Jose Council Member Domingo Candelas. I want to, in addition, welcome all of our distinguished guests, our agency leaders, and our community partners whose expertise and passion has helped to get us to this point. And now, for our first speaker, I'd like to welcome someone who knows this project area intimately and has been a tireless advocate for its protection. Valley Water Vice Chair Richard Santos.
Welcome to the beautiful day in Alviso. Richard Santos, Vice Chair of Santa Clara Valley Water District, and I appreciate all the attendance. Standing here on the levee with this beautiful bay behind us, we're reminded of the power of nature and responsibility we share to protect it and each other. Today we celebrate major milestones in the South San Francisco Bay Shoreline Phase 1 project. The completion of Reaches 1 to 3 levees with run from Alviso Marina Park to the John Edwards Refuge. 2 miles of coastal flood protection levee now stands between our communities and the rising threat of sea level rise and storm flooding. This is more than infrastructure. When fully completed, this project will bring peace of mind and safety confidence to thousands of our residents and commuters, business in North San Jose and Alviso. This achievement is a result of great collaboration. I will take the time to thank our partners, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, California State Coastal Conservancy, Amy, fantastic, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and for their unwavering commitment. I also want to acknowledge the many agencies and founders who made this possible, including San Francisco Bay Restoration Authority, the California Department of Water Resources, the Wildlife Conservation Board, and our own Valley Water Safe Clean Water Program. To protect our to our project contractors, engineers, and construction team, thank you for your experience, expertise, and dedication, and to our Valley Water staff, your leadership and perseverance have been instrumental in every step of the way. Finally, to our guests and members of the media, thank you for sharing this moment with us. These levees are a symbol of what we can accomplish when we work together. It's a promise to the future generations that we are building a safer and more resilient shoreline. I was born and raised here in Alviso and remember and lived through the floods of the 50s, the 60s, and 83 and 95. Not just the water, but the damage, the disruption, and the fear. That's why this project means so much to me, not just as a director, but as someone who lived it. This isn't just infrastructure, it's protection and peace of mind. I've been advocating for this for a long time, and today it seems it comes to life. I'm very proud of what we have achieved. This is what happens when we work together, when we listen to the voices of the community, and when we honor the past, and we rebuild for the future. Thank you for believing in this. Thank you for standing with us, and thank you for helping us protect the place we call home. Let's keep moving forward together, and thank you. And P.S., let's not forget how this all started with former U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein and her wildlife restoration project when I was appointed to that committee back in 2002. Last time we had a chance, we met right here, and she said, let's do it in my lifetime. Before I turn this over to our next speaker, which is Colonel Virginia Brickner, I'm going to present her with one of our firefighter medals, patron saint, St. Florin, and saying thank you for your service to America. Thank you for your dedication to our community. Tradition of sacrifices. Colonel?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair Santos. It always comes from the heart from you, and I really appreciate that. So our next speaker up is Lieutenant Colonel Brickner, and she has been a key federal partner whose team helped to bring these levees to life. So Lieutenant Colonel Brickner. No one worry that you see lots of pages. They have to put this font in really big letters because I'm getting older. So don't be scared by multi-pages blowing around up here. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. Just again, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Virginia Brickner, the commander of the Corps of Engineer District here in San Francisco. And we are so proud to be here today, but also to have completed this with our partners. So first of Valley Water, thank you for putting this together. I'm sure you guys dialed up the weather as well. You made sure we had some great sunshine to show off the workout here, show off the birds out on the water, but also all of your partnership to help us get to this point. The same with the Coastal Conservancy. Amy, give you another shout out, and your team. I mentioned to someone when we got here that we're partnered with you guys on a lot of projects, but this is a big one, and getting to celebrate the completion of this portion of the project with you all is very meaningful to us. Also, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Refuge. We'd also like to say thank you to our contractors who did the work here, Maloney and Odin. It was a joint venture between those two companies, so we want to say thank you to our contractor team as well. But there are so many others that if I tried to go through and list through the whole names, you guys would already be clapping me off stage and telling me to move on. So I'll get into the numbers. So it's a pleasure to be here with you celebrating the significant milestone for the South San Francisco Bay Shoreline project. This is the completion of the first set of levees that you see here today, what we call reaches 1 through 3. So reach 1 is way out there in the background. If you've been here before, it definitely sticks out to you. And we're here at the end of reach 3. So this is the first of several projects that are going to, project features for the entire project, which are ultimately going to reduce coastal flood risk for the community of Alviso and neighboring areas, restore tidal marsh wetlands, and provide improved recreation opportunities. For a project of this size to be successful, it really does take a collective team of teams. So, we have the big team together. We thanked our partners. We thanked our local officials. But each one of you has your own team as well that was working together to get us to this point, to this shared goal. And this project has many, from coastal flood risk management to tidal wetland restoration to expanded public use access to the wonderful network of coastal trails that we see around us. You never want to forget what you accomplished. We're looking ahead to the future. We said there's more, but you always want to look back for a moment and kind of bask in the success that you've had so far. So this really has been an enormous lift by so many people over 2 decades in the making. Sir, you mentioned, late Senator Feinstein and the push for this. This isn't something that just happened out of nowhere. This is something that has been worked on by a lot of people for a lot of time. And those people helped move us through the early stages of the planning process, to assign chiefs report, to the investment that we see here in the ground today.
Today is a day to truly celebrate the success we've achieved so far, and honestly what is still to come as we move through the remaining elements of this enormous project. So now we're going to nerd out a little bit. All the engineers in the room are excited to hear all the numbers about the project. Everyone else is going to be like, how much is that really, Colonel Brickner? And I'm going to be like, I don't know, I should have asked. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the journey that got us here for 3.5 years of physical construction. Our project delivery team ran the numbers and reported 380,000 cubic yards of excavation, 600,000 cubic yards of place to levee fill, upwards of 42,000 truckloads of fill delivered to the site, not to mention all the hours invested to place, move, grade, and shape this levee that we're standing on today. There's more work to be done, and yes, that means more fill to haul in, so I'll get to change that number when I come out and celebrate levees 4 and 5 and some of the other features of the project with you all. The project will begin to import that more of that fill material for the environmental restoration. We call it ecotone. Just think environmental restoration, which is going to go along the Reach 1 levee in the ponds called we call them A12 and A13. But again, back over the levee 1 area, you'll see that ecosystem restoration. And what's exciting about this project is here's where coastal flood risk management and ecosystem restoration go hand in hand. At the same time, our teams are going to continue to push the remaining project features, which include a railroad closure structure. A lot of you probably went over the tracks farther down from the levee when you came here today. We have a pedestrian bridge, but also another 2 miles of levee that we're going to be calling Reaches 4 and 5. They're going to be going out in that area to your rear. You know, so super excited that we finished 1 through 3, but as I just rattled off, there's a lot more work to be done to continue to protect the coastal flood risk, to protect the town of Alviso, but also to provide something to our communities that they can recreate in, that they can enjoy, and they have an opportunity to visit in nature. So we have many more project elements to complete, but I'm confident that our team of teams that we've gathered here are going to keep us on the right path to success as we build a resilient South Bay shoreline for future generations. So thank you all. SAON's Building Strong.
Thank you so much, Colonel Brickner. We really appreciate the Corps' partnership on this. And so next, we welcome Chris Barr, representing the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, whose work ensures that our flood protection efforts also support a thriving ecosystem. Chris?
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to your Don Edwards San Francisco Bay National Wildlife Refuge. It was established in 1972 through the vision and resiliency of the South Bay communities. As we gather here, I want to acknowledge the deep and enduring history of the South San Francisco Bay and honor the Miwaka Ohlone tribe, Ramaytush Ohlone, and the Tamian Nation, indigenous peoples whose ancestral lands included the South Bay and the peninsula. These communities remain active in cultural preservation and land stewardship, along with all those who call the South Bay home. It's a living, vibrant, and all of our voices are essential to the future of the Bay. This refuge is the largest urban national wildlife refuge in the country, spanning over 30,000 acres. In 1992, we opened the Environmental Education Center here in Alviso, just behind us. It's a hub for learning, for volunteerism, and community science. In partnership with the San Francisco Bay Wildlife Society, we manage this education center, and we continue to steward the future of this refuge together with the local community and honor all those who are connected to the South Bay. Today we celebrate this major milestone, the completion of Phase 1 of the South Bay Shoreline project. This achievement reflects the power of collaboration among federal, state, and local partners. And I really want to congratulate the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for your expertise in this project, and to the Valley Water District for your professionalism and dedication as a non-federal partner. and to the State Coastal Conservancy, who's been hand in hand with the Refuge to work to help restore over 15,000 acres of the South Bay. This project is more than a levee project protecting the 5,500 residents and critical infrastructure. It's a restoration of hope for the bay. Nearly 2,900 acres of former salt ponds will be returned to the bay and restored as tidal marsh habitat, helping to revive habitat critical for endangered species like the California ridge-raised rail and the salt marsh harvest mouse. These wetlands are ecological treasures, offering natural defenses against storms and helping to improve water quality in the bay. We're also looking through this project, enhancing public access, creating new trails, scenic overlooks, connections to the San Francisco Bay Trail. In a region of 8 million people, the National Wildlife Refuge offers something rare: solitude, wonder, and connection. Our work isn't done, but today brings us one step closer and is another piece of efforts to restore over those 15,000 acres of vibrant wetlands across the bay. These will connect with other lands that we've already restored and bring back that mosaic that was historically here. Phase 1 is just the beginning. It shows what is possible when we all come together to protect communities, restore the bay, and inspire future generations. Climate resiliency is not a distant goal. It's happening here, now. So thank you to everyone who made this possible. The bay is better because of all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chris. So now we have joining us our newest representative from the legislature, Assemblymember Patrick Ahrens. He knows this area well due to his long service as district director to our former Assemblymember Evan Lowe, and also as an elected member of the Foothill De Anza Community College Board of Trustees. Mr. Ahrens?
Well, hello, everyone. Hello. This is exciting. We should be excited. We should be celebrating. There's not enough events and milestones that we can come together in multiple government agencies, most of which the community has never heard of, coming together and actually working together and accomplishing big and important things. This does not happen enough in Sacramento. It certainly doesn't happen enough locally. When in any given week or month, you can open up the Mercury News and see that somebody's yelling at the county, that somebody's yelling at the city, and it's all someone else's fault and there's no responsibility in government. But to see this project come together, to see it come together with multiple state, local, and special district agencies to do what's right for the community is no easy feat, and we need to celebrate that. And as was mentioned earlier by Director Santos, we would be remiss if not to mention the incredible, towering work of the late Senator Dianne Feinstein in securing $170 million working with the Army Corps of Engineers for this and so many other projects to restore and preserve our environment. That cannot happen without tenacious spirit. That cannot happen without Director Santos, who was the first person to call me when I got elected, asking me what am I going to be doing for Alviso, and holding me accountable. And so not only do we have the work of Senator Feinstein to thank, we have the work of Director Santos and so many others. And when we think about, just getting elected myself in the legislature, and just before this event, talking to our new council member, San Jose Councilmember Domingo Condales, we're relatively young in this venture, and we think about, how do we make that impact? And we go up and thinking we're going to solve homelessness in 6 months with all of our youthful energy, and we realize just how difficult and systemic these issues are that are facing our community. But it's heartening to see, and we need to show this, and I really appreciate so many people being here covering this. We need to show the community that we can come together and do things, and that the blame game stops now, that we're going to come together and we're going to accomplish big things for the community. And so if you are here today, please post why you're here, getting a sunburn out here, because I forgot to wear sunscreen. But please post why you're here. Why is this important? Why does this matter to you? Because the community needs to hear about this. The community needs to see what happens, what we can accomplish together. And so I will just say that on behalf of the state legislature in the state of California, I did want to present this to Director Santos for your advocacy and all of this work in making it possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Assemblymember Ahrens. And next, we're joined by Executive Officer Amy Hetzel of the California State Coastal Conservancy and San Francisco Bay Restoration Authority. I worked with Amy personally on this project for at least 10 years, so I know that she is a driving force in shoreline restoration and resilience along with her agency. So, Amy?
Thank you all, and I'm wearing two hats today, so I'm going to take this hat off, representing the State Coastal Conservancy and representing the San Francisco Bay Restoration Authority, a regional agency. And as has been noted, this project really represents the importance of partnership and collaboration at the local level, the regional level, state level, federal level. It takes that level of collaboration to make hard things like this happen. So this is really terrific for the community of Alviso, the city of San Jose, to have this portion of the levee completed. I really want to thank our partners at Valley Water and the Corps of Engineers, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Ducks Unlimited, the California Wildlife Foundation, San Francisco Bay Bird Observatory, H.T. Harvey, City of San Jose, and Santa Clara County Parks. I also want to thank our federal and state and local elected officials who have supported this project for over 20 years. Senator Feinstein has been thanked, and I'll just add to that. I can't name every individual, but I want to name a few individuals who have been at so many meetings, so many tours, on so many Zoom calls. Neil Hedgecock with the Corps, Sunshine, and James Uja and Bhavani with Valley Water, Shoreline with the Coastal Conservancy, Dave Coffers, formerly with the Corps of Engineers, just so many wonderful people. And yeah, I would go through and name all of you, but I wanted to point out that it takes a lot of individuals over many decades, just day in and day out, doing the hard work to make projects like this happen. And Secretary Crowfoot, the Natural Resources Secretary for the state of California, also expresses his thanks to the many people who got us to this point. The Coastal Conservancy, we are a state agency. We've been a partner on this project since the acquisition over 20 years ago of 15,000 acres. We have been focused on the multiple benefits of this work. So you're seeing the levee, coastal flood management for San Jose, but this project is also a wetland restoration project, nearly 3,000 acres of tidal wetlands restoration, part of the 15,000 acre South Bay Salt Pond project. It is a recreation project to increase public access to the San Francisco Bay and complete the Bay Trail. It's also a climate resilience project. So I think this is one of the first projects in the nation that really started looking at sea level rise as part of a coastal flood risk management project. And one of the Conservancy's large focuses on this has been incorporating nature-based solutions into the levee design. So this is a really great example of gray-green infrastructure, building an engineered levee and incorporating ecotone, which I'm not going to define ecotone exactly, but we're going to have a gently sloping levee with native plants that are going to allow for the marsh to migrate with sea level rise and provide for refugia for endangered species during high tides. And the Coastal Conservancy, we've been able to be a partner on this project thanks to the people of California who support funding for natural resources and for climate adaptation, and over many years have supported state bonds that have enabled us to participate in this project and many other projects throughout the state. Most recently, last November, the voters approved Proposition 4, the climate bond, and that's going to enable the Coastal Conservancy to keep projects like this moving forward for the next decade. So thanks to the people of California for their commitment to our resources and to adapting to climate change. And then the other hat is the San Francisco Bay Restoration Authority. It's a regional authority, and in 2016, the voters in the 9-county Bay Area approved Measure AA, which is a measure to support restoration of San Francisco Bay. And with that funding, the Restoration Authority was able to put over $60 million into this project to leverage federal funds and Valley Water funds to make this construction happen. So many thanks to Bay Area voters who passed Measure AA by over 70% back in 2016. It was just a great demonstration of the love that the people in the Bay Area have for our namesake, the San Francisco Bay. And finally, I just wanted to end on a personal note. Over 30 years ago, I was an intern here at the Fish and Wildlife Service. I was 5 years old. And that was the start of my career. And in the morning, I would walk out of that building to come over here and collect brine shrimp to bring to the lab for the kids to look at. And those lease terns, or I don't know if they're lease terns. Are they lease terns or California terns? They knew me. And when I would walk out of that back door, they would immediately fly over and start dive bombing to protect their nests from me, the horrible person coming to collect the brine shrimp. So it's funny to have come full circle.
Effort. So President Lee?
Wow, good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day out here. Let's take a deep breath and breathe this amazing fresh air and right here at the National Wildlife Refuge, right here in Santa Clara County. Well, good morning. My name's Otto Lee, honored to be serving as the board president and also the supervisor representing District 3, of course, which includes right here in Alviso. In Santa Clara County, being the largest county in Northern California of over almost 2 million people with 15 towns and cities here. I'm truly happy to be here at District 3 and see so many familiar faces and leaders right here from Alviso. First and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out, of course, to our favorite director, Dick Santos, who we also affectionately call him the de facto mayor of Alviso. We all know that, right? And for his endless advocacy for Alviso, as well as his service to the Water District dating back to year 2000, and so much more for the community-focused work throughout Santa Clara County. And specifically, I also get to sit next to him on the county's emergency preparedness chair that he's chairing at the EOC. That is really saving our lives both on wildfire issues and flooding issues for many, many years to come. Today, we mark a major milestone in this effort to protect our regional shoreline and our community's future. With the completion of the reaches 1 through 3, nearly 2 miles of engineered coastal levee have finally been built to serve as a critical line of defense for Alviso, North San Jose, the San Jose Santa Clara Regional Wastewater Facility, and also even towards Sunnyvale. These complete levees will help to protect our residents against these so-called 100 years of coastal storm and projected sea level rise. And as we know, with the climate change, these so-called every 100 years is happening every 10 years. So this is the type of change that we have to deal with. To say this achievement is just about infrastructure would be an understatement. This project is about safety, resilience, and the promise of peace of mind for our residents. As the lowest point of sea level in the Bay Area, Alviso has faced devastating floods throughout the last century, as mentioned by Director Santos, most recently in '83 and '95. The flood will be coming again. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So these new levees, wetlands, and ecotone habitats created here will provide both state-of-the-art flood protection and a thriving natural buffer to adapt with a changing climate. And, you know, if you live here, we all know that climate change is no hoax. It's a reality we have to live with, and we must work together to combat these harms to our communities for many years and decades to come. So today, this landmark moment showcases the power of partnership between so many organizations, not just the County of Santa Clara, the City of San Jose, Santa Clara, Sunnyvale, Valley Water, the United States Army Corps of Engineers, the Cal State Coastal Conservancy, and the U.S. Fish and Games and Wildlife. And you can see how much fish, games, and wildlife is around here right now, right? And for many, many years to come. And of course, we also have so much support from unwavering support from many federal, state, and local leaders as well. Together, we've invested in building not only a wall of protection, but also a foundation to restore more than 3,000 acres of wetlands, strengthening habitat for wildlife, enable greater public access to our cherished shoreline. So for those of you who have never been here, this is a great place to come. Bring your bike, bring your kids. It's really one of those secret hiding places that has been understated in Alviso. And this project was made possible through the dedication of countless individuals, from the construction crews who did the rough work of literally building to community stakeholders who have shown up and advocated tirelessly through the years. But this is just the beginning. As we look ahead, we remain committed to protecting our vulnerable communities, restoring our natural ecosystems, and setting a national example of how climate adaptation can be done reasonably, equitably, and sustainably. So I just want to say we thank our partners, the beautiful community of Alviso, and all who have contributed to making this milestone possible. We talk about long-term projects. The first time we talked about this, I was still in the Sunnyvale City Council, and 20 years later, here we are. And there's more to go with the other two projects going on the other side that will protect the other part of North San Jose and potential Milpitas. So thank you so much. Together, we continue to build this shoreline that will endure and thrive for all. Thank you very much.
I made a commitment for education. I got to go with kids.
Before we go to the next speaker, Director Santos would like a photo. So if all would please. Yes.
Real quick, and I'll let you guys go. I got to run. I made a commitment.
Okay, thank you all very much for indulging us in that. And I just wanted to take a quick minute to recognize a couple other elected officials who are here. From Sunnyvale, Mayor Klein and Council Member Srini Vasan. Thank you so much for joining us. We very much appreciate it. And Council Member Karen Hardy from Santa Clara. Thank you. And next up, I'm going to invite Mayor Lisa Gilmore up to talk. And Lisa has been a dedicated supporter of the Shoreline project through the City of Santa Clara. So, Lisa?
Good morning. So Assembly Member Ahrens is representing the youth of the community. I'm the other generation, so I feel we have to be represented as well. Thank you, Chief Executive Richardson, for inviting me here today. And with me, you just heard, is Councilmember Karen Hardy, who's on all of our water commissions. And we also have our Director of Water and Sewer Utility, John Ramirez. He's here somewhere. Is he? He was here. He may have gotten, oh, there he is, back there. Thank you, John, for joining us today. And it's nice to be in Vice Chair Santos's home. So I'm honored to be here today to join Valley Water, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the California State Coastal Conservancy, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and so many distinguished elected officials and community partners to celebrate today's milestone. And you read the milestone, so I'm glad we have that photo. Just 3 years ago, I stood at the groundbreaking ceremony for this project when reaches 1 through 3 were just plans on paper. So today we celebrate their completion, a major step in protecting our region from the very risks of coastal flooding and sea level rise. For the city of Santa Clara, our neighborhoods may not lie in the floodplain, but our shared regional wastewater facility does. This is the largest advanced treatment facility in the western United States, serving more than 1 million people across the region. Protecting it means protecting public health, the environment, and the well-being of hundreds of thousands of residents and businesses. Ensuring this facility's resilience safeguards essential services for decades to come. Beyond the critical infrastructure, this project will reduce flood risk for the communities of Alviso and thousands of homes and businesses in North San Jose. It will restore nearly 3,000 acres of former salt ponds into thriving tidal marsh, supporting biodiversity and endangered species. And it will expand shoreline trails and open space, enhancing public access and quality of life. What makes today really meaningful is that it reflects the power of collaboration. Multiple agencies, cities, and community partners working together to build something bigger than any one of us could achieve alone. On behalf of the City of Santa Clara, I'm proud to support this shared effort to build a safer, stronger, and more resilient future for our region. When we plan ahead and when we work together, we protect not only today's communities, but tomorrow's as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mayor Gilmore. And now we have our last guest, but of course, certainly not our least important. I'd like to welcome Council Member Domingo Candelas from the City of San Jose, whose partnership has really been essential in advancing this project. So, Council Member Candelas?
All right, I'm batting cleanup tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm San Jose City Council Member Domingo Candelas, and I also represent District 8, which is Evergreen and east side of our city, and sit on the Treatment Plant Advisory Committee that if you were driving in from downtown San Jose, you would have passed the treatment plant, the recycling water, the purification center, and also a recycling site. It's all critical infrastructure that our residents don't necessarily know that it exists and or what they do. But when they fail, we all will hear and we will all read of the catastrophic failure that those systems may cause in our community. And you know, levees and this project are important because they allow our community to go about their daily lives without fear or disruption. That to me is a sign of success. And you know, it's when they fail that, as I mentioned, that our community feels that. And you know, it goes beyond the levees. It's about making real investments that save lives, protect our homes, our businesses, and mitigate the very real impacts of climate change. I mean, on Tuesday, it was 90 degrees. Yesterday, it was 60 degrees and raining. And now we're back to 80 degrees and getting sunburns. We're not just building for today, we're building for tomorrow. And of course, that work wouldn't be possible without our partners at the federal, at the state, at the regional level. And you know, I'm proud to represent a community that's as diverse and as engaged as the city of San Jose has been, and that partnership is important. And I'm proud to be here today for this phase 1, but we are committed to being there for phase 2 and getting the rest of this shoreline protected for the communities that live just south of us. So thank you so much, and muchas gracias.
Okay, thank you so much, Councilmember Candelas. And thanks again to all of our speakers for sharing your insights and for the vital role you've played in bringing this project to life. Now I wanted to invite members of the media to take this opportunity with our project partners, today's speakers, and Valley Water Board members. They'll be available to share more about this project and the future of the Shoreline project in our region. Once again, thanks to all of you for being here, and thanks for your continued commitment to making the South Bay safer. Thank you.